How's it going, guys? My name is James, and in this video I want to talk about how much my wife Manami and I spent moving from Idaho, USA to Fukuoka, Japan. If any of you are considering moving to Japan or planning on moving to Japan or already moving to Japan, hopefully we can share some of our tips on how we were able to save some money. With that being said, hope you like the video. I feel like a lot of people have the image of Japan being very expensive, and then other people might have heard things like houses selling for extremely cheap and maybe even for free. Whether it's true or not obviously depends on what you're used to. Me coming from Idaho might not have the same reaction as someone coming from, say, New York, who may be used to even higher prices. As an example of varying prices, in my city, to rent an apartment, you could be paying a little over $200 to maybe $800 for a larger 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. Rent prices may be lower, but you also have to consider utilities, which might be higher than you're used to. All appliances are usually not included, so that can add to the cost. It just rained and it's not that hot, but it is so humid, so I'm just having a hard time thinking. But I wanted to say that this move took us less money than we expected, and it was way less stressful than we planned on. While it was easier, I do not deserve any of the credit. There are lots of people that helped me. I would not have been able to do it without them. Number one, my wife. Japan obviously is a Japanese speaking country. If you're traveling alone and you don't speak at least a little bit of Japanese, you will run into roadblocks. Secondly, I need to thank both my parents and also my wife Manami, her parents as well. Both of them helped with our move undescribably. We're able to store our stuff in America while we're gone. Manami's parents helped tremendously with the paperwork, mailing stuff back and forth while we were applying for my visa. My parents helped us by driving the trailer that we rented across multiple states after visiting us on holiday. There's a grandpa playing his trumpet in the forest, so hope you like the background music. Moving from America to Japan is not easy and it's not cheap, but hopefully I can help you make it a little bit easier regardless of what situation you're in. My camera's about to fall over. We're gonna hop to the next scene. I'm gonna go through each and every one of our expenses. Okay, I just walked back here with my sandals. I've heard there's snakes in this forest, so if you're watching this video, that means that I did not get bitten by a snake and die. I'm gonna go through each of our expenses that's related to our move from the USA to here. At the end of the video, I'm gonna give a full total cost of moving here. So, the first thing we had to deal with was visa stuff. We had to mail documents back and forth to Japan. Manami's dad helped us with a lot of the documents on the Japan side, and we had to send him stuff. We spent a total of probably $150 on postage. The postal service in America does not have the best reputation, and in Idaho it is especially bad. They lost our fairly important documents on several occasions. Even after we paid for the extreme priority plus whatever premium mail, they still took a lifetime delivering it. And then the second thing we purchased was our actual flights to Japan. Once we had the visa taken care of, we moved pretty quick. The tickets on Japan Airlines from LA to Tokyo were only $670 a person, which is $1,340 for the two of us. We also had to buy tickets from Portland, which is where we were, to LA, and then also from Tokyo after our quarantine to Fukuoka. I was able to use Delta miles for the Portland to LA. That was free for me. It was $80 for my wife's ticket. Our 2-hour flight from Tokyo to Fukuoka, which is where we are now, that was $70 per person. That was kind of a cheaper airlines. In America, it'd be comparable to Spirit Air or Allegiant Air. We ended up using Japan Airlines shipping service JAL ABC. They have an office there right in the airport, and they'll ship it to any address in Japan for the same price as paying an extra bag, so that was much more convenient for us. That ended up being $94 to ship those 4 bags. When we were in Seattle, we had 1 extra suitcase we did not have room for. We actually used a cardboard box, and that was my monitor, which was bigger. I didn't want to have to deal with that with the different airlines, and so we sent that via Yamata Takyubin. It's a Japanese company, but they have offices around the world and around US and Canada in all the major cities. I sent my 34-inch widescreen monitor for $193 along with a bunch of other stuff. If you do use them, make sure you tell them that you are moving there and you're not just shipping it, because you won't have to pay as much in taxes. Hands down, if you're moving to Japan, instead of paying for an extra suitcase, definitely recommend checking them out. It was only $193. You have to go into their office and drop it off. They put a fragile sticker on there. They're extra careful, and they shipped it all the way from Seattle to our house here in Fukuoka, which is amazing, not having to deal with an additional 5th suitcase. I may have mentioned this earlier in the video. We had a lot of stuff that we did not bring. We were planning on getting a storage unit. My parents, which I am super grateful for, they're letting us use their crawl space, which is underneath the house. It's a little bit wet, so we bought nice waterproof bins and we sealed them up. So we probably spent 50, 60 bucks on those. If you can come up with a solution to avoid those monthly fees, definitely recommend that. If you know where my parents live, please do not go into the crawl space and rob our stuff there. We did rent a trailer. My parents were gracious enough to drive it from Idaho to Washington. That was a huge help for us. So that was only 130 bucks. A few days before actually leaving, we had to get a COVID test. That was about $120 per person. And then one thing that I was not expecting was the COVID test once we arrived in Japan, the quarantine with just 3 days at a nice hotel, all the meals provided. They brought us water or whatever else we needed. It was actually surprisingly comfortable. If you want to check out that video, I will link it right here or right here, probably right here actually. That was completely free. And another thing that surprised me is my spousal visa to move here was completely free. Anyone that knows about the green card process in America knows that it is very much not free. With my employment in Idaho, I had a house. We were planning on living there for quite some time. But we had a lot of stuff that we needed to get rid of. Thankfully, because of Facebook Marketplace, I was able to get a lot of my cash back from that. The garbage system is way easier in Idaho than it is in Japan. We had several dumpsters on our street, then you never realize how much stuff that you have. But the dumpsters in Idaho made it very easy to just get rid of all this stuff. And now that we add all that stuff up, we get a running total of $2,441.38, which is way less than we expected. Do not set this as your budget. This will depend. I'm sure there are people that moved here for cheaper than we did, and also people that spent way more. I urge you to make sure that you have savings set aside so that you are able to account for surprise expenses, because there's always something that you did not consider. One of the challenges with any move is getting rid of a lot of stuff. When you have a move that you cannot take a moving truck all the way across, it might make more financial sense to get rid of even more stuff, many of which may have some sort of sentimental value. But now that it's done, I don't really miss any of that stuff, which has encouraged me as I go to these awesome shops here. I see stuff that I like and I enjoy it without actually purchasing it. I think that is one of the biggest lessons that I learned from this move. Just simplifying your life, I think that is one of the biggest things that has led to me being so happy right now. I just wanted to end the video with that little note. I don't know if it's related, I don't know if it's helpful, but thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.